stretch out on this track. About to lay some facts down. Yeah. It's real life, though. Yeah. My mom's one of the best. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. I said my mom's one of the best for me. Pray I live successfully. Portrait of a shattered soul. I gather up the rest of me. Hope for worthy hands to hold, consoling and caressing me. Gave myself a hug when nobody showed me love. Career people pleaser. Affections made me preacher, and I'm sparing no expenses. I ain't bringing little Caesars. See the closest leave me low. Same way they did with Jesus. But I'm nothing like the Lord, but still I suffer through them seasons. I'm not being facetious, merely rhyming through my reasons, exercising through my demons. And this session got me sweating, pitching pennies at the wish you well, counting up my blessings. The heart too big, my mother told me that, so now I'm stressing over hypotheticals. Might end up in a death of you, and chronic overthinking never added to my revenue. Tired of sinking ships that I built, wishing I had one in the chamber laying like Wilt. But it's kill or be killed, mentally, physically, a war for the spirit. And blessed are the ears of those that's able to hear it. No need to fear it, future bound with no interference. You can never buy me off, my soul is never in clearance. Love me or leave me alone, they how they moving the greater way. God wrote the route, I just made the play, forfeit forever. PEL was more than just letters. That's the haven that created me right under the heavens. I'm rolling sevens, life is a gamble, so I double down. Back in isolation, I withdrew back to my bubble now. When I ain't got no real conversation, I let my silence speak. Suppressive vendettas that end me violently, conscientiously stepping forever in my purpose now. Then look myself in the mirror, ask if it's worth it now. The hatred came in abundance, so they deferred me love. Leave me to wonder, that's something I'm even worthy of. Ask a question. Leave me to wonder, that's something I'm even worthy of. Yeah. Black Los.
Shalom, shalom, y'all. It's your brother Yakub with Drew, whichever one rolls out the tongue. Y'all know how it go. And that was my brother Black Los. Check him out on SoundCloud. You can see it right there. It says Black Los Sin Verde. And verde means green for those who don't know. I know because I took Spanish for a little bit, and that's my last name. No, I think that's French. I took both, so I'm confused. So I know it's one of them. No, yeah, Vert is French, so I think Verde is Spanish, and that's my last name, Green. So I kind of know a little something about something, but man, that brother was speaking to me in that song right there, man. He let me hear it a couple days ago, and I'm like, yo, that's serious. Like the last time he let me hear something, I felt to that extent. I actually asked could I jump on it, and we did a collab in a video. So we got a video. Look up Black Los featuring Woody Rock, and you'll see the song that we did the last time. But that one right there, man, ain't nowhere for me to be on it. But all I could do is just push it to everybody who, you know what I'm saying, will listen, because man, that joint goes, in my opinion. Shout out to my brother once again. Also, shouts out to my brothers, the Shadows, and peace to everybody. Sorry it's been a minute, but life been happening. I've been doing a lot of learning, and a lot of times it's best when you learning just not to say nothing until you grasp what it is that you trying to grasp, so you don't put out wrong information to nobody, which is something a lot of people should learn. All right, what we gonna talk about today is be a good person, not a nice person. So often we've been taught that being nice is the way to go. And you got your people on the other side that say nice guys finish last. So this is my interpretation on that subject. Definitely gonna go to some scriptures. First we going this week to the dictionary. This is from the Oxford Languages, like basically the first one that you get when you go on Google and type in a word. This is the definition of good. Good, noun, that which is morally right. Righteousness. Similar words are virtue and righteousness. The second definition is benefit or advantage of something or someone. Well, it says someone or something. I read it backwards. And then you have it, that was the definition of good as a noun. This is the definition of good as an adjective. Number one, to be desired or approved of, pleasing and welcome, having the qualities for a particular role. This is the second definition. Skilled at doing or dealing with a particular thing. That's good. Then I looked up nice. Nice. Adjective. First definition, pleasant, agreeable, satisfactory. Similar words are enjoyable, pleasant, and pleasurable. Of a person, pleasant is manner, good-natured, kind. And how to use it in a sentence, he's really a nice person. Similar words are pleasant, likable, and agreeable. But just dug a little deeper, and I asked, what is the origin of nice? Came up with this from dictionary.com. It's an article called What's the Origin of Nice? Nice, it turns out, began as a negative term derived from the Latin term niscius. I hope I'm saying it right. Probably not, but close enough. Nescius, how you say it. Niscius, that's how I choose to say it. Being as though I've been to, I used to take Latin in school too, so yeah. Shout out to City College. They made all of us learn how to say the Pledge of Allegiance in Latin, and we said it at every assembly that we had up there. Sorry. So back to it. Niscius, meaning unaware or ignorant. This sense of ignorant was carried over into English when the word was first borrowed via French in the early 1300s. We just talked about French. How cool is that? And for almost a century, nice was used to characterize a stupid, ignorant, or foolish person. So that's the origin of the word nice. So when people call you nice, I heard a long time ago some of the brothers that I listened to teaching like red pill knowledge and even some brothers teaching biblical knowledge always used to drop that gem and kind of like stung me back in the day, because that was like the biggest compliment that everybody used to give me. Oh, you're so nice. You're so nice. But sure enough, as I got older and learned, most of the people that said how nice I was and celebrated how nice I was couldn't wait for a chance to take advantage of me and use me. So I'm just basically here today to pass on this information to you who might be in the same way and might be getting that same compliment, that same treatment from people that you really enjoy being around and you really like them. And they just like, oh, you're so nice. And next thing you know, they get you for a couple dollars, or they get you to do a bunch of favors. And then when you need them for something, then they know where to be found, or maybe even laughing at you that you need help. So before you get into that predicament, hopefully you come across this little video right here, or one like it, because I'm not the only one with the same revelation or the same knowledge or whatever. It's just on my heart to speak about it today. So let's get into the scriptures like we always do. But before we do, let me point out, shout out my shirt. Somebody told me, well, actually one person said it, and then somebody else confirmed it, that this is my cartoon twin, Droopy Doug. And this shirt says, you can see the top of it, and it's probably looking backwards on here. I don't know, I might be able to switch it around before I post it, but if not, it says, I'm not lazy. And down the bottom, you see him on his pillow and stuff, but I can't zoom it down far enough. You can see the bottom. Probably see my toes because I ain't no shoes on right now. But it says, I'm not lazy. I'm just tired of people, of humans. And that's a shirt I had to put it on today and come and talk to everybody. Plus, it got my favorite color in there, blue, which I've been studying colors. They said it's a very calming color. Make everybody calm down. Y'all can't even really see the blue. Y'all can see his eyes. You can see the blue right there, but also he laying on a blue pillow. But anyway, let's get into these scriptures. Sorry for that little tangent. But anyway, Proverbs 14 and 15. Speaking of how I say it's a stupid, ignorant, or foolish person. Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well into his going. And if you look in the Strong's Exhaustive Concordance, that's number 6612. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this. It's Pthiy. And that word means foolish simplicity. 1. Now, in the New Living Translation, it's the same verse, Proverbs 14 and 15. It reads, only simpletons believe everything they're told. The prudent carefully consider their steps. And the irony of that is like my mom didn't curse. Like, I never heard my mom say a cuss word all my life. She told me once that she thought a cuss word in her head in a really extreme situation, and she prayed and repented and asked for forgiveness just for thinking a cuss word. So her words that were like really forceful, like if you did something and you like kind of got on her wrong side and made her upset or whatever, like one of the words she was quick to dish out, and sometimes she'd dish it out just plain too, but a lot of times if she's seen somebody do something and it really made her upset, and was really triggered by stupidity and stuff, same as me, she used to be quick to be like, simpleton, look at that simpleton, or dunce. That was like her favorite words to like really let you know how she felt about somebody being stupid. So the fact that that's actually in this translation was kind of cool to me. It kind of rang sentimental because I heard her saying that word when I was reading it. It says, only simpletons believe everything they're told. The prudent carefully consider their steps. The Amplified Bible puts it like this: the naive or unexperienced person is easily misled and believes every word he hears. But the prudent man, discreet and astute, and considers well where he is going. Well, is discreet and astute and considers well where he is going. And we're going to get one more. God's Word translation says, a gullible person believes everything, but a sensible person watches his step. Now, going back to my mom, she was a teacher at a correctional facility for juvenile detention center here in Baltimore. And her and my dad, that's where they met. But by my mom being a teacher, she would deal with the students like hands-on. Well, anybody there dealt with them hands-on, but she used to tell me like stories about that. She would see like the toughest guys broke down because of the way that things didn't go well with their girlfriends on the outside. So by her seeing this and seeing how being in relationships could bring like the toughest man to his knees, she made it her business to protect me from that. So by her doing that, she didn't allow me to date until I was probably like my last year of high school, and maybe even after high school. And whereas though like a couple girls that would like me because I was on the geek squad, I had like big glasses and all types of crazy lookingness. Like was comparable to like picture Steve Urkel. But it wasn't an act. Like with him, he could take that stuff off and go home and be cool. Or even on the show, he got to be a cool guy. I was Steve Urkel 24/7. So like the few females that did take a liking to me, when they would call the house, I either was always not allowed to get on the phone, or something. Whereas though my social skills in that department were very, very stunted. To the point when I did start dating, I was like at a disadvantage because all the games that people would have played on me probably in middle school or high school, whereas though I would have already known to be hip to certain things, I wasn't. And like a good buddy of mine used to be like I said before, my last name is Green. He's like, well, he's a good buddy of mine back in the days. We haven't communicated recently, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. He'd be like, your last name ain't Green for nothing. Because green is also a word that's like synonymous with gullible and stuff like that in some places. Like as far as the color, it's like a relaxing. It means very relaxing, and I kind of like that because that's kind of like I feel like I embody that. But I also embodied that part of green back in those days too, because anything somebody told me, I believed it. Like when I would go to him for advice, he would just be like, "You believe that? She told you that? You believe that? Yeah, your last name ain't Green for nothing, boy. You surely are Green." And also I had my first girlfriend, my first love. Well, I was in love, a little puppy love or whatever. She used to call me, one of her nicknames for me was Gullible Yo. Because she said I basically just went for what I said. Hey, I can tell you anything. And you just go right along with it. You just gullible. And she said gullible, gullible. And at the time, I didn't really even know what the word meant. I was a person who didn't know a lot, But I mean, I knew a lot on some subjects, and I prided myself that I did know a lot on the subjects that I did know a lot about. And that basically hindered me because the things that I didn't know about, I was quick to just say I knew about it because I didn't want it to be a subject where as though somebody could stump me or somebody could be wiser than me or something. So I just pretended to know about it. So, and didn't even take the time to pick up a dictionary or whatever to look at it because there was no Google back then. But we had plenty of dictionaries in my place because, like I said, my mom was an educator and she was very serious about education. So that was my dumbness. And it was also my dumbness being gullible, you know. But sometimes we live and we learn. I'm gonna try to let the ice cream truck pass real quick. At least he's not playing that other song. Love a watermelon, ha 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 ha. Love a watermelon, ha 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 ha. I actually get a kick out. I shouldn't talk about that. Let's just wait for the ice cream truck to pass. Like I said, it sounds like he getting closer and louder instead of further and more quiet. Maybe some kids. I'm gonna push pause. No, I'm not. Y'all can hear me. Yeah, they gone anyway. Thank you, Mr. Ice Cream Truck, for leaving. This is yeah, so basically like just being gullible and easily deceivable and being naive is what all synonymous with being what people think when they say being nice. And this is Proverbs 22:3. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And somebody could tell you, you could see all the signs, like a wise person to see all the signs of somebody trying to get over on you. And being a not simple, nice guy, you'd just be like, oh, it's not like that. Oh, they don't mean it like that. With all the red flags that you might get presented to you, and somebody who love you will sit you down and put their arm around you and try to point out to you like, oh, don't you ever think about this? And even like I gotta give my mommy credit. Like I said that she protected me to the point where as though I had to play catch up, but at the same time, she was hip to a lot of the game because number one, she is a lady, so she know how ladies think. Number two, she been around and she just seen a lot, you know, and she observed a lot and had a lot of wisdom. And one time she tried to warn me about one of my former loves, and she was telling me that like you don't think it's funny that every week, like she was like y'all argue all the time. We had a very like a kind of volatile situation or whatever. And she was like, you don't think it's funny that y'all argue all the time, but any other time y'all argue, y'all make up and everything is cool and she never leave. But on one particular day out of the week, every week when y'all argue is so bad that she has to leave. And my stupid self was like, oh my, that's the club night. She just want to be able to go to the club in peace and don't want me trying to stop her or seeing what she got on and tripping off of that or whatever. And my mom was like, look, son, I love little such and such, but it ain't that much clubbing in the world. And I was like, oh man, you just don't want me to be with nobody. You still on that same stuff. I'm grown, I can do this and do that. And lo and behold, later on it was revealed to me a whole thing that it was another person, somebody else that same person was involved with, and they would come in town on that same day every week. And that would be the reason to leave. The whole time I'm thinking about some club. But I said that to say, a prudent person, which was my mama, would pull me to the side and show me exactly what it was. See the evil. I should have hid myself. I should have said, lose my number, forget my address. But the simple, pass on, and I'll punish. So my dumb self just kept on going. You don't know nothing. You don't know her. You childless. You up me all to yourself. I'm not a baby no more. And all that stuff. And I ended up getting my heart broke. That was the punishment. But hey, we live and we learn. Sometimes I tell people all the time, there's a difference between head knowledge and heart knowledge. Head knowledge is like stuff that somebody told you, something that you read and you know it because you read it out of a book, or you know it because your teacher told you, or you know it because somebody that you respect told you it. But heart knowledge is stuff that you actually went through and learned it yourself. And once you learn it that way, to me, that's the best way because you'll never forget it. and you will never play with it again. Like if somebody tell you fire is hot, you don't live your whole life not touching fire because somebody told you it was hot. But if you make a mistake playing with your lighter or whatever, or touching the stove or whatever, even after your folks told you not to, even though I wouldn't recommend that, but once you do that, you know it's hot, and you ain't get ready to touch that no more. You ain't get ready to go near that no more. You gonna back away even when it look like it's something that look like that. You feel me? So some lessons are best learned the hard way, and that's one that I definitely did. But shout out to my mom. Much respect to you. May you continue to rest peacefully until the day that we are prayerfully reunited. But I just said that to say sometimes you gullible. Somebody could foresee the evil, foresee the situation that you in, and try to put a bug in your ear. You either laugh it off, or even sometimes get mad at the person that's trying to serve you the warning. But when you do find out and it hits you, don't be like me, whereas though by the time I realized my mama was right, she wasn't even hearing anymore in the physical for me to be able to tell her that she was right, and to apologize to her for any. Well, I didn't disrespect her because my mom was 4'11", but she ain't play. So I didn't disrespect her, but at the same time, I should have been more receptive and realized that she was looking out for me. She had no reason to not look out for me. Some people you do have to question their motives and why they helping you, but she definitely wasn't one of those people. I thank the Most High for the family that he put me in. I feel like that about most of my family. I don't have to question them when they come to me, But moving right along, this is Good News Translation for that same verse. Sensible people will see trouble coming and avoid it, but an unthinking person will walk right into it and regret it later. Boy, was that me. Don't let it be you. This is Sirach Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12, verse 1. When thou wilt do good, know to whom thou doest it, so shalt thou be thanked for thy benefits. Common English Bible. If you do good, know for whom you do it, and there will be gratitude for your good deeds. Do good to the godly, and you will find a reward. And if not from them, then from the Most High. And that's even better, because he can definitely give you something better than what any person could hook you up with. And if not, then from the Most High. Sorry, same line again, but maybe it need to be heard again. Put out there one more time. There is nothing good for those who continue to do evil, or for those who don't freely offer charity. And we got another verse that say, who does the law and keeps the commandments is offering offerings enough. That's your offerings, that you living right. And if you do live right, it will cause you to give charity when you can, like you see somebody outside trying to get a sandwich, trying to get home or whatever like that, and you do something the best that you can to help them to get those things. That's giving charity. But let's continue on. It says, give to the pious, but don't assist sinners. Do good to the humble, but don't give to the ungodly. Hold back your bread, and don't give it to them, since by it they might gain power over you. You will encounter twice as much evil for all the good things that you have done for them. The Most High also hated sinners, and he will repay the ungodly with punishment. So much for he loved the sinner but hates the sin. This says the Most High also hated sinners, and he will repay the ungodly with punishment. And that's Sirach Ecclesiasticus 12 and 6. If you want to look it up, take my word for it. It says in the LXX, he adds to this verse, he is keeping them for the time of their punishment. So that answers the question. Like, a lot of people like, why do it seem like bad people just get away with things and they just keep on, getting, and more things, good things just keep happening to them and stuff like that. While us good ones, quote unquote good ones, everybody think they good. They say the thing is everybody is righteous in their own eyes, but the Most High, examines the soul. So who knows how good somebody might be. Might not be as good as they think they are. But it's a verse, I'm about to pull it up. It says, judge no man bless before his death. That is Ecclesiasticus 11, chapter 11, verse 28. It says, judge none blessed before his death, A man shall be known in his children. So you never know. Like if people just still living, still going, you don't never know what kind of end might come to an individual, any individual, you know. And they might be allowed to live and do dirt all their life, but then they might just come crashing down at the end, you know. Or maybe it's possible that somebody can repent and get their sins forgiven them and not have to go through that. But, you know, they may have repented behind doors to the Most High. So it's just best for us not to, you know, fret about stuff like that, because it's another verse that says, hold up for 1 second, I'm gonna get this one. And this will bring comfort to a lot of people too, because there are a lot of us who do, you know, do our best to be the best individuals that we could be. And then you see people who don't even try. And you see them appearing to be blessed and stuff like that, you know. 1 second. It's in Esdras. Inquire not how the ungodly shall be punished. Because I'm going to tell you why I'm looking it up. A lot of us waste our lives waiting to see somebody get, quote unquote, get theirs, or get punished for the way that they have treated us and stuff like that. And it's like a lot of times we just wasting our life because they living their life. Them people is not worried about us. They probably find if they not doing us dirty no more, they probably finding more people that they can do dirty. And the whole time they progressing and doing what it is they doing in life, we remaining stagnant and dormant because we just waiting to see them get theirs. Oh, I know he gonna get yours, boy. Or I know she gonna get hers for breaking my heart. You feel me? And the whole time they in a whole another relationship, looking like, you know, online, or looking like in pictures, or looking like to whoever reporting to you. If you got somebody reporting to you, and that's sick to sit and spy and watch on somebody that ain't dealing with you and you ain't dealing with them anyway. Like to me that's a sickness. But you worried about, oh man, when the last time you seen her, how she looked when you seen her, or how he looked when you seen him, or whether he looked like he was doing good, looked like he was struggling or whatever. And then you get happy if they tell you look like they struggling or whatever like that. Whole time that person ain't thinking about you. They might be doing the next person dirty for all we know, but that's not even none of our concern. Or they might be generally happy with the next person. That's still none of our concern. We supposed to continue to live life and do what we gotta do for us. You know, living in the past, that's crazy. Life goes on. And this is 2 Esdras 9 and 13, the verse I was looking for. It says, therefore, be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created. So that's what we supposed to be worried about, how we could be saved, what we need to be doing better, what can we do better, instead of just sitting there waiting on somebody to get theirs, and sitting there with your legs crossed and your arms folded like, I know this and he about to get hands now, I know it's about to happen now. You know, it's like King David said that, you know, like one thing that he prayed that the Most High would let him see the fall of his enemies, you know, like in the land of the living, while he was still living to see it. Me personally, people that have whoever done me wrong or done me dirty, I don't care. It's just like I just wish that the only thing that I don't like is when they still try to include themselves in my current life. It's like, man, just keep doing what you're doing and let me do what I'm doing. You know, I saw a meme earlier this week that said, if you think you so much better than me, why are you worried about what I'm doing? Why would you have somebody spying and watching me and reporting back to you or something like that? Like, that's the only pet peeve I would have. Like, if you don't deal with me, if we don't benefit, we not cool, then keep it pushing in a different direction while I keep it pushing in the direction that I'm pushing it in. And don't try to hinder me in the direction that I'm going, because trust and believe it don't have nothing to do with you. That's my only thing. But anyway, back to these scriptures. Like I said, the last one said, give to good people, don't assist sinners. And as it started, it says, when you do good, if you do good, know for whom you do it, and there will be gratitude for your good deeds. So it's not saying don't do good things for people, don't do nice things for people, but just know who you're doing it for. Don't be just ignorant and naive and just doing anything for anybody, because there are rewards and there are, you know, detrimental things that can happen too. Like one more verse, and then we should be out of here. It says, there's a gift that will cost you double, and And that's in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach also. I just gotta find a chapter and a verse. Sorry for well, it's not even that I was ill prepared, but it's just that sometimes as I'm speaking, other stuff will pop in my mind. Like I try to write down as much as I can, but actually I'm just gonna wait and put it in the description so that you can check it out there, because I don't want to just keeping everybody. But basically, like I was saying, like strive to be a good person. Good. Once again, let's read the definition that they give for good. Good, that which is morally right. Righteousness, that's what we should strive for. Righteousness. Strive to be in good standing with the Heavenly Father. Strive to be at peace with your fellow men and women. To strive to, and if you can be helpful to, someone who needs it, like to the children, to the needy, to, people in general, to even your brother, because people leave that out. Like a lot of times you see people doing charity and like celebrities that build a home for women and children. But I also see men that have fallen upon hard times, like good men, good-hearted men, who have fallen upon hard times for whatever reason. They might need some help too. So let's not neglect our brothers. But at the same time, like if you see somebody and they just try and get money to do some foolishness, don't be so quick to run to that cause. But if you see somebody that have a righteous cause, like the people will be quick to say, don't judge your neighbor and don't judge and you won't be judged and stuff like that. But they neglect to realize that judging in that sense mean condemn. Like we ain't supposed to look at somebody, it's like, yeah, they going to hell. Oh yeah, they ain't gonna make it. That's not our place. But as far as like judging, as far as being discerning, like in church they call it the spirit of discernment. But in the Bible they call it judging, which is what it is, judging and discerning. If we was to look that up, it probably would be like a real similar definition. But I'm gonna find this one more verse. We are gonna read this one. Most High willing. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 31:15, and it's so funny because they are changing, like what they call it, the Mandela effect. Like if you look in the book that I have, like the hardback book, it says judge of, but if you look here on this online thing, they changed the word of to not, which is crazy. And they put, it says, the real one says, judge of thy neighbor by thyself and be discreet in every point. Discreet mean like you really dig into it, like you finding out. And even in the another one in the book of Ecclesiasticus said, if you have a friend, prove him first. That means test him first. I mean, you just don't accept everybody to come up and put their arm around you, homeboy. Like, oh yeah, this is my boy right here. This is my Doug. And what I learned in life, most of the people that sit there and talk about, I kill somebody over you, boy, they be the ones you really gotta look out for, because if somebody that they might kill might be you. That's just a word to the wise from the wise. But just basically, just be discreet, discern, man. Just be, don't be so gullible. Don't take everybody at their word. Don't just believe everything somebody say. Look on actions sometimes more than you look at words. As a matter of fact, let me read y'all one more thing. I keep saying this, but let me read y'all one thing. And it's a meme, actually, that I reposted on Facebook a couple days ago. And it goes a little something like this. As soon as I get to it. Come on, man. I post a lot. If y'all can't tell, that's why I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to find it. Here it is. It says, jealousy can hide in compliments. Envy can hide in support. And hate can hide in love. So just because they're giving it to you doesn't mean they have it for you. Trust their energy and actions. I'm going to add actions to it, not their words, if you want to see it. If you can't see it, I don't know. Oh, yeah, there we go. It's going to be backwards, but I hope, like I said, I might try to turn this one around if I can. But with that being said, man, just don't be so gullible. Don't be so trusting. Not saying that you can't trust anyone, but actually the book say, cursed be the man that trusteth him, man. If we want to trust somebody, trust in our Heavenly Father, the Most High, man. And also people who have, you can give some credence to people who have shown you time and time again that they have your best interests at heart. Anybody else? Better be a little skeptical. And even anyway, the only one you never had to be skeptical of is the Most High. Anybody else, if it don't feel right, look into it. Like I said, the prudent man looketh well into his going. And like I said, strive to be a good person. Nice, somebody telling you nice person, to me that's not a compliment anymore. But it's up to each individual to feel how they feel. I'm just dropping that on y'all. Much love. May the Most High bless and keep y'all. Shabbat shalom. Shalom period. If you're watching this on the day that's not the Shabbat, prayerfully we get together again, sir. Peace, y'all.